Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. My name is Daria if you're new here, and today's practice is called Empowered Presence. This class works progressively toward Wild Thing pose and is a practice in staying really anchored to the present moment and recognizing that there is an ease and a joy that arises from simply allowing ourselves to be, dropping any thoughts that come up around the past or toward the future, and really deeply tuning in to our physical body sensations and to our breath. So you just need yourself and some place to move. Whenever you're ready, let's get into it. We'll start right here in Sukhasana. So find yourself in a nice, easy seat. Press your pelvis down into the earth. Allow your knees to fall wide. Palms rest on your thighs. They could face up or down, whatever feels good. Start to soften your eyes and drop your shoulders down your back. And for a few moments, let your body settle and become still. And then in stillness, see what you can observe. Begin with the physical layer of your body, noticing any sensations that come up. And as they arise, just watch them. So you don't have to do anything to fix them or change them. Let them be exactly the way they are. Feel for the movement of your breath. See if you can consciously deepen the breath so it becomes more of a full body experience. Let your inhales be clarifying through the nose. And let the exhalation have like a rinsing effect, like a resetting, starting over. And then begin to become aware of any thought patterns that are traveling through the mental space. Allow them to travel, though. Let the thoughts flow without getting stuck to anything. See if you can center your thoughts around this moment, noticing what you can feel, what you can hear, what you can smell. Letting your senses guide you toward a deeper inner body space. Take a full inhale breath through your nose, filling the lungs. Full exhale breath, letting it all go. One more round of breath here. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, release. Begin to blink your eyes open and start to find your way up into a tabletop position, onto your hands and your knees. And then turn your fingers so they point toward the sides of the mat, toward the long edge. Spread them nice and wide, tack down your finger pads. Start to rock your weight a little bit from side to side. If you'd like, you can roll through the hands. So the palm of the hand lifts and press into the knuckles. Just play around here for a few breaths. Now begin to walk your fingers so that they'll point back towards your thighs and the heels of the hands are reaching toward the top of the mat. You could micro bend your elbows, but maybe start to work them more towards straight as you shift your weight a little bit forward and a little bit back in space. Send your breath into what's untangling in your forearms and in your wrists. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Now flip your palms so the tops of the hands are down to the ground and the palms are facing the sky. Really subtle shift of weight forward and back here, opening more into the front parts of the wrists. Without forcing, just explore. Release that. Sit back to your heels and interlace your fingers. Take some rolls of the wrists, going a few times in each direction, and try to play into your full range of motion here. So making the circles as broad, as exaggerated as they can be. And then extend your arms straight forward. Palms press forward. Have your fingers like flexing up toward your forearms. Breathing in. When you breathe out, send the fingers down, and so the tops of the wrists are forward. Good. Just go back and forth a couple of times. Again, really trying to feel that the palms are really flexed at the top, and then point your hands down like you're pointing your feet. A couple more times. Now stay with the hands flexed, fingers up, and kind of revolve your palms away from one another and then back in toward one another. So feeling this activation all the way up through your arms and even maybe into the shoulders. Imagine you're pressing into a wall or something and then spiraling outward and back in. Let's go one more time. Out and in. And then flip your fingers so they point down, same thing. Spiraling the fingers away from one another and then in toward one another. Finding your range of motion here. Go about 4 times. Release that. Next breath in, stretch your arms wide and all the way up to the sky. Look to your thumbs. As you breathe out, catch for opposite elbows. Try to pull your arms apart as you relax your shoulders down your back. Now press into your toenails. Energize from your low core all the way up through the top of your skull to grow long. With your exhale breath, arc up and over toward the right, keeping both shoulders softening down your back and opening into the left side body. You could look up. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rising up to the center. Exhale, go up and over to the left. Keep the length in your spine. Keep your chest open. Eyes look up if it's okay on your neck. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Unwind or rise back up to a tall spine. Look up as you reach your arms overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, dive forward. Slide your palms forward. And then come back forward into tabletop position. Tuck your toes behind you. With your next inhale breath, soften your belly. Lift your tailbone to the sky. Start to drag from the back of your heart forward and turn your eyes up. When you exhale, keep these curves in your spine. Glide your pelvis back. Reach your heart to your thumbs, coming into an active child's pose. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths, pulsing slightly back and forth. Claw the mat with your fingertips, and it's like you're trying to pull your hands to your knees, but they don't actually move. They're like stuck where they are. Feel the middle part of your back curling. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. And then let the inhalation draw you forward onto hands and knees again, rounding the spine as you go, suctioning in and up through the front body. When you exhale, lift your knees and send your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Pause here. Soften or close your eyes. Let's start in stillness. So before we wiggle through anything, see what's here as you arrive. Feel that from the back of your heart, you're pressing through your arms all the way down and forward into the palms. Plug your finger pads down and try to drag them back toward the center of your hands. Widen your shoulder blades. And then as you'd like, you can begin to introduce some little wiggles, but let them come from an intentional place. Feeling how your movement influences the breath and helps to direct the breath to different areas that are unwinding, untangling. Feel for the length of your spine. Feel for the back of your neck to be elongated and a little relaxed. Stay here for one more breath. Feel all the parts of the inhalation, all the areas that the breath touches. Press your exhale breath into the earth. Next breath in, look forward to your thumbs. As you breathe out, take little baby tiptoes forward to the top of the mat, trying to stay high on the balls of your feet as you walk forward, and then land your toes behind your wrists. Bend your knees really deeply and let your body hang in ragdoll. Take any arm variation that you would like. Sway side to side if this feels good for you, gliding the spine from left to right. Notice if there is holding in the back of the neck or the head. Try to fully drop forward. And then feel for any resistance to what's going on right now in this moment or even in your life. And imagine it washing off your body. Let that go. Notice the ease that can arise when we release the resistance to what is. Just let it be and let yourself be. One more breath here. Release any arm variation. Press into your feet. Slowly round your spine. Keep your core connected as you roll up to standing one vertebra at a time. Allow your head to stay heavy until the very top, when it can stack onto the rest of your spine, and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Root into your feet. Next breath in, stretch your arms wide and all the way up to the sky. Look up. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Soften or close your eyes. How fully present can you be in this moment? As we move through practice today, notice when thoughts directed toward the past or toward the future arise in your mind. And then use as anchor points back to the present your physical body sensations and the feeling of your breath. Inhale here. Sigh it out, exhale. Eyes open, palms down. Breathe in, reach up, look up. Breathe out, long spine, diving down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathe in, halfway lift, elongate through your spine. Pull up through your quads, stretch your tailbone back, reach your crown of head forward. As you breathe out, place your palms to the mat and softly step back into plank. In plank, really energetically press the ground away from you and squeeze up through your whole front body. Inhale, elongate in your plank. And as you exhale, lower chaturanga from toes or knees. Hug your elbows tight to your ribs. Soften your pelvis to the earth. Untuck your toes. Lift through the fronts of your thighs. Energize up through your pelvic floor. Draw your shoulder blades toward one another and let your heart shine forward in cobra. Breathing in. When you breathe out, hug your belly button to your spine, tuck your toes, and then from your sacrum, drag your pelvis back in space as you keep reaching your heart towards your thumbs. Active child's pose. Breathe in, rounding through the spine. Come forward into a hands and knees position. And when you breathe out, lift your knees and send your hips skyward, downward facing dog. Next inhale breath. Stretch your right leg high to the sky, three-legged down dog. When you breathe out, bend your right knee, kick your heel towards your sitting bone, and then try to stack right hip on top of the left one. Now see how far you can stretch your right toes toward the left side of the mat while continuing to spiral the right rib cage down toward the earth. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, square your hips, stretch your right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, left heel rises. Hug right knee forward. Look to your inner right thumb and see how deliberately you can place your right foot down there. Lift up onto your fingertips and let your back knee land. With your inhale breath, fingertips float to the sky, coming into kneeling warrior. As you exhale, palms meet in prayer at heart center. Lengthen your heart forward towards your thumbs. Stick your butt a little bit back, and then hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh, coming into a revolved lunge. Feel that your big toes are digging down evenly. Elongate through your spine with every breath in. With your exhale breaths, twist your left ribs in the direction of the right ribs. Notice if the shoulders are crawling up toward the ears. Let them soften. One more breath. Unwind. Use your core to face the top of the mat, and then place your fingertips down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slide your hips back in space and flex your right toes brightly, coming into half splits. Try to pull right heel and left knee toward one another as you stretch out through the whole line of your spine. And then every exhale breath, relax the shoulders, relax the face. Comb away any unnecessary tension or holding patterns. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Begin to step forward into your right foot. Have your knee over your ankle. Lift your back knee. Squeeze your left thigh, and with your next breath in, rise to standing in a high crescent lunge. Left heel really lifted. Squeeze in through your waist on both sides and try to lift your rib cage energetically away from your pelvis. Soften the shoulders. Take a full breath in. Breathe out and interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Now inhale here. Try to squeeze your upper arms back in space. Bring the thumb side of your hands away from your sit bones, and then stretch your heart to the sky. Any amount, just a little heart opening. Full breath in. As you breathe out, release, circle your fingertips to the mat. Now inhale to prepare. Drag your hips a little bit back in space. Come really high to the ball of your left foot. Stretch your right leg straight-ish. Exhale, press down, round your spine, thinking like cat pose. Pick up the right foot, glide it all the way through and back into three-legged down dog. Breathe in here. When you breathe out, left heel floats. Hug your right knee through to your left tricep across the midline of the body. Now, pivot your left heel down, bend your knee, and then extend your right leg all the way through to the left. You can root your foot or maybe squeeze through your inner thighs to keep it lifting. Good. Look to the sky, and then exhale to carry your left arm forward over your ear. One more breath in. Exhale, hug your right knee to your chest. Pivot on your left toes so they point forward, left palm down. Now, roll to the other side of your left foot. So inner edge of the foot is aligned with the back of the mat. Step your right toes down on top of your left ones. Claw into left fingertips, and then cactus up through your right elbow. So we're in a little side plank here. Stay with both feet rooted, or dig into your left big toe. See if you can stretch up through your right knee toward the sky. And then maybe left leg draws more towards straight. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, revolve to face the top of the mat. Take a big step forward with your right foot, and we'll land in a lunge. Pivot your left heel down, toes out 45-ish degrees. Inhale, breath rises you up into warrior one. With your exhale, relax into the pose. Feel for what optimal alignment feels like in your body now. One more breath in. With your exhale breath, lift your back heel, circle your fingertips forward and wide on your mat, and step into a fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, long spine. Breathe out, bow, chest to thighs, crown of head reaching toward your toes. As you inhale, press into your feet, long spine rising all the way up to stand, look up. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Breathe in, reach up, look up. Breathe out, Uttanasana, swim through the air. Dive down, forward folds. Inhale, take a halfway lift, catch some length. Exhale, palms to the mat, step back into plank. Hover in your plank. Pressing from the back of your heart down into your hands, into the earth, squeezing through your ribs and your thighs. Take a breath in, grow long. Breathe out, lower chaturanga halfway. Sink your pelvis, untuck your toes, energize your low belly, and lift your heart, cobra. When you exhale, belly button to spine, tuck your toes, drag your hips back in space, reach your heart forward, active child's pose. Breathe in and round your spine as you shift forward back into hands and knees. And when you breathe out, knees lift, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Stretch high through your left leg, three-legged down dog. Breathe out to stack, left hip on top of the right one as you bend your knee. Draw your heel close to your sit bone. Then see how far the left toes can stretch toward the right side of the mat. So we're getting a little hip flexor, quad stretch. Next, inhale, square your hips, left leg high, three-legged down dog. When you exhale, right heel lifts, hug forward with your left knee, look to where you're gonna step, and then see how slowly and presently you can step your foot there. Onto fingertips, land your back knee. Breathe in and reach your arms to the sky, kneeling warrior. Breathe out, palms to prayer, heart center, and then twist so right elbow is outside of the left thigh. Press your left palm into your right one. Long spine with the inhales. Hug belly button to spine and turn through your rib cage with your exhales. Press into your big toes to stabilize and use your core to unwind. Inhale, face the top of the mat. Exhale, fingertips down and drag your hips back in space. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. The more brightly you're able to flex your left toes, the more sensation you'll feel. Move your breath through your body like water, rinsing away what you don't need. Stay really tuned into everything that you can feel. Next breath in, step forward into your left foot. Lift your back knee and then reach your fingertips to the sky. High crescent lunge. Create a slight tuck of your pelvis so that you can energize and lift through the low belly and the pelvic floor. Elongate the line of your spine. Energize through the fingers. Full breath in. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. If you're able, draw the heels of your hands together. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and down, and then puff your heart forward. Inflate it with an inhale breath. With an exhale breath, release that grip. Place your fingertips or your palms to the mat. Drag your pelvis back in space. Breathe in to come high onto the ball of your right foot. When you breathe out, press down. Use your core to round your spine and pick up your left foot. Glide it through and back into three-legged down dog. Taking an inhale breath here. When you exhale, left knee hugs toward the right tricep. Right heel pivots down, knife edge of the foot parallel to the back of the mat. Bend that knee a little bit and then extend your left leg to the side, either to the earth or hovering. Look up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, right arm circles over your ear. Circle the right hand down to the mat. Hug your left knee to your chest. Pivot on your right foot. So now the inner arch of the foot is aligned with the back of the mat. Bend your knees to back off a little bit. Sink your right heel. Left toes can step down, and then inhale, left elbow cactuses up. Staying here, or see if you can draw your left knee toward the sky. Squeeze your right side body and press your hips further away from the earth. Maybe looking up. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, look to the top of your mat. See if you can swim your left leg all the way around and forward and softly land. Then align for warrior one. Back toes out, back heel down. Breathe in, press down, and rise to standing here. As you breathe out, sinking and settling. How much can you feel the surface of the mat beneath your feet? Feel like the texture of it and grip it. One more full breath in. Breathe out to lift your back heel, circle your fingertips forward, and step into a fold at the top of your mat. Just bow down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, bow. Chest to the thighs, crown of head to the toes. Next, inhale breath. Press down with a long spine. Rise all the way up to standing and look up. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Soften or close your eyes. Pause to feel. Be still. Feel your breath. And look for anything that is resisting being right here, right now. If you're finding that there are any thoughts or sensations that are really sticky, like hard to drop, try to imagine it's like something you're holding in your hand that you're just letting go of. It's that easy. Blink your eyes open, release the palms down. Breathe in, reach up, look up. Breathe out, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right away, chaturanga. You can step back or float back, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog if you like, hovering the thighs, or stay with cobra. Exhale, belly button to spine right away, coming back into downward facing dog. With the inhale breath, stretch your right leg high, three-legged down dog. When you exhale, stack your hip and bend your knee. Inhale, square things off, stretch right toes high. Exhale, softly step right foot, right thumb. Land your back knee. Inhale, fingertips rise, kneeling warrior. Exhale, hook left elbow outside of the right thigh, palms meet in prayer. Lengthen your sternum forward and then turn it toward your thumbs. Stay here, or this time play with picking up your back knee. Press into your big toes. Hug your outer right hip toward the midline. One more breath. Next inhalation, unwind. Spin your back heel down and windmill your arms open all the way into warrior two. You can adjust the alignment of your feet if you'd like. And then settle here. Find some ease to the pose. Energize through your fingertips. Look forward with soft gaze. Inhale. Press down, rise to standing. So the right leg draws straight. Left hand to the back of your thigh, right arm goes up and then back into a reverse trikonasana, reverse triangle. Try to hug from the back of your heart up toward the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, rise up to standing. Send your left hip back and your right fingertips forward. And then when you exhale, come into triangle. Right hand to your shin or your ankle, maybe outside of your foot. Hug your right sit bone underneath of your body. And then elongate or energize or lengthen through the line of your spine. Eyes can look up. Next breath in, circle your left arm forward all the way over your head. Exhale, pivot to face the top of the mat. Place your palms and lift your back heel. Breathe in like a pyramid pose, right leg straight-ish. Breathe out, press down, round your spine, pick up your right foot, glide it through and back. Three-legged down dog, inhale here. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Take the inhalation to open up into a fallen triangle or hover your thigh, lifting the left arm to the sky. Exhale, left hand plants to the mat. Right knee to your chest, pivot on your left toes, and then sink the inner arch of your foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. This time maybe into wild thing. Right toe step back behind you. Bend your knees. Scoop your left shoulder blade under the back of your heart, and then start to grow your pelvis away from the earth. You can really do whatever feels good with the right arm. If you want to reach it all the way up and back, go for it. You can place a hand to the heart or to your right hip to play with opening a little more into that leaning into the back body space. One more breath. Good. Now revolve back through side plank. Take an inhale breath here. When you exhale, maybe right knee high, or you can drag your right toes around and just step to a lunge at the top of the mat, however you need to get there. Sink your back knee down. Left fingertips wide. Inhale, right elbow up. Exhale, catch your left heel or your left foot with your right hand. So kicking the heel in, taking a quad stretch here for a couple breaths. You can pick. You can either add the twisting of the heart toward the sky, or if you'd rather stay with your heart facing more forward and really focus on the quads opening up, that's a great place to be as well. So you can pick. Wherever you are, really feeling your breath. Feel for what's opening. One more breath in and a breath out. Unwind. Tuck your back toes. Walk your fingertips forward and wide on your mat. Lift your knee. Inhale. Exhale, step to a fold at the top of your mat, bowing in. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, bow forward. Inhale, press through your feet, long spine. Reverse swan dive, rising to stand, look up. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Breathe in, reach to the sky. Breathe out, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, palms down, step or float back, halfway lower. Inhale takes you into up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Breathe in to stretch your left leg to the sky, three-legged down dog. Breathe out, stack your hip and bend your knee. Micro bend your right knee as well. And then inhale, square things off. Extend through your left leg and toes. Exhale, left knee forward, step into a lunge. Right knee sinks to the earth. Inhale, fingertips rise, kneeling warrior. Exhale, right elbow hooks outside of your left thigh, palms to prayer. Plug into your big toes. Squeeze through your core, and then use this stability to press into the earth and lift your back knee, maybe, into a revolved crescent lunge. Press your right heel a little back in space, stretch the crown of your head forward, and then turn a little deeper, maybe, on your exhale. Next, inhale breath. Unwind, stabilize through your core. Windmill your arms open and come into warrior two, sitting low through the front knee, lunge. Really dig into the pinky side of your right foot. Soften your hips evenly on both sides. When your next inhale breath comes, pull your feet together so much so that the left leg draws towards straight. Right hand meets the back of your thigh. Left arm rises up, and then take an arc back in space to come into reverse triangle. Full breath in. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, rise to standing. Shift forward through your left fingertips and back through your right hip. Shorten your stance slightly if you need. And then find your way into Trikonasana, triangle. Hand to the shin or the ankle or outside of the foot. Stack the right side of your body on top of the left. And then really find a clarity to your breath, clarity to the pose, stretching through all the lines. Inhale, circle right arm over your ear. Exhale, face the top of your mat. Place your palms and lift your back heel really high. Breathe in, grow long through your spine. Breathe out, press straight down. Pick up your left foot, glide it back. Three-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, right tricep, cross the midline of the body. Pivot your right heel down. And then inhale, open up into fallen triangle or keep your left leg hovering. With your exhale, right arm circles back to the mat, palm plants, left knee hugs to the chest, and then pivot your right foot the opposite way. Heel down, big toe rooted. Left toe step back. Scoop your right shoulder blade underneath of the back of your heart, and then start to grow open through your whole front body into wild thing. Feel for ease in your breath. You can stay a little more dynamic if you'd like. You might work your right leg more towards straight eventually. Wherever you are. One more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Stack left side body on top of the right. Either kind of glide your leg around and forward, or you can take the knee high and then step forward that way. Left foot down. Right knee bends. Sink it to the earth. Right fingertips step wide. Breathe in cactus up through your left elbow. And then breathe out, kick your heel in and try to catch your foot anywhere that's available to you. Again, focusing on the quad stretch with a heart expansion if you'd like, or you can just keep the heart facing more forward and melt your pelvis a little bit more. Just play. Try to feel from the inside out what your body is asking for, rather than just moving habitually. One more breath in. One more breath out. Unwind, tuck your back toes, walk your fingertips forward and wide, lift your right knee, breathe in. Breathe out and step to a fold at the top of your mat, feet parallel, hips distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, just bow forward. Now lift your toes, turn them slightly out so they point to the top corners of the mat. Bend your knees and slide your pelvis all the way down in between your heels. Allow your palms to meet in prayer at heart center. Take a few moments here, soften or close your eyes. If you need a little adjustment through the feet, like widen them or bring them more narrow, do what you need. Soften through the creases of the hips. Soften your jaw. Let your spine be so tall, so long. One more breath in. And a breath out. Find your way down to a seat. You can use your hands if you need, of course, or just sit down. Walk your feet a little bit forward. Now, we're going to play with coming into a wild thing from here. So, have your right foot slightly more forward than your left one, and then take your right palm to the back of your mat with your fingertips pointing away from you. Squeeze your right shoulder blade back in space so your upper arm is kind of revolving to where your bicep will point back. Stick your butt a little bit back, but energize between your inner thighs and lift your pelvic floor. Take a breath in, claw the mat with your right fingertips. When you breathe out, press down, lift your hips, bend your knees a little more to kind of back off. Reaffirm that tuck of the shoulder blade behind you so it becomes like a shelf. And then press into your feet and allow yourself to open up into wild thing. Play around here. You could move it into more of like a side body stretch if you want to, or even open your left arm wide, opening the chest really fully. Whatever you need to do, just stay one more breath. And then to come down, bend your knees and slowly sink your pelvis back to the earth. Unwind and face the top of your mats. Catch onto your shins, breathe in. Widen your knees, lift up through your heart like a seated cow pose. As you breathe out, round and curl, belly button back toward your spine, chin tucks in a little toward your chest. 2 more with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breathing in. And breathe out. Come back to a tall seated position. Have your left foot stepped a little more forward than your right one. And then this time the left hand comes down to the back of the mat. Pivot the inner eye of your elbow toward the back of the mat. Tuck your shoulder blade underneath of you. Squeeze in through your waist and notice your butt will start to sit back a little bit in space. Breathing in. When you breathe out, pressing down. Root into your big toes. So rock your weight a little forward, bend your knees, then really tuck the shoulder blade underneath of you and start to blast open. Wild thing. Once again, get playful with it. It can be a little different from one side to the next. So see what you like. Left leg might work towards straight. Feel the breath. One more inhale. And with your exhale breath, bend your knees a little bit and start to sink your pelvis all the way back down to the earth. Good. Let's just take a reverse tabletop to kind of rinse that through and even out the sides. You can have the fingertips pointing toward you or away from you, whatever you'd like. Root your feet, magnetize your inner thighs, breathe in, stick your butt back, lift through your heart. When you breathe out, press down, bridge your hips to the sky. You could stay here. If you'd like, you can start to tip your head back. Let it rest in the shoulder girdle. Rock a little forward and back if you'd like. One more breath in. And with the exhale, if your head's back, keep it back. Just sink your hips down first and then allow your spine to stack. Lift your head last. Bring the soles of your feet together. Open your knees wide. Catch the fronts of your ankles. Take a breath in and sit up really tall. As you breathe out, fold forward into Baddha Konasana. Try to keep your spine long. And we'll be here for about 5 breaths. So take your time. Feel like your knees are magnetized toward the earth, so they're just dropping. Heart is reaching forward toward your feet and beyond. And the pelvis is relaxing. You can soften a little into your low belly. 2 more rounds. What else can you drop? Begin to rise slowly back up. Take your hands to your outer thighs and bring your knees together. Close them. Hug your heels in tight towards you. Wrap your forearms around your shins and just take a hug here, like curling yourself up into a tight squeeze. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Full breath in. Full breath out. Squeeze a little tighter. Release. Place your feet to the top of the mats. Breathe in, reach all the way up. Breathe out, slowly roll down your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. 3, 2, 1, and right away, drop everything and expand into Shavasana. Have your arms and your legs wide. Palms are facing up. Your toes could fall open. See how much you can settle into the support of the surface beneath you. Again, in stillness, see how present you can be with everything that's circulating, all the different kinds of energies moving through your body. And draw your thoughts just to now. Drop anything else. Let yourself rest. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. When you feel ready, begin to draw your consciousness back. Feel for any tingly, effervescent sensations. Roll your head toward one side and then the other. And start to wake up your fingers and your toes with some gentle movements. When your next inhale breath arrives, let it travel from your toes all the way up through your legs and your spine and your arms as they stretch back over your head, growing super long. And then exhale, take a nice easy roll to a side into fetal pose, allowing your head to drop. Rest here. And then begin to rise up to a seated position. We'll close the practice from Sukhasana. As you find your way here, let your sitting bones anchor you downward, but then with an equal amount of energy, let the crown of your head lift toward the sky, almost as though it's on a string being drawn infinitely upward. Create space around your neck by dropping your shoulders. Send your awareness to the space between your eyebrows. And just concentrate on being. Simply being, dropping everything else. Bring your palms to prayer at heart center. Acknowledge any shifts or discoveries you made in this practice. And dedicate yourself to continuing to find presence as you move into your day or even your week ahead. We'll take one final breath here. Inhale, fill the lungs. Big sigh, exhale. Lift your heart and bow. Chin to your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that that felt good in your body and that you're having a great start to your new year so far. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below. You can also join as a monthly donation member. Both of these really help to support me, and I will also have some new membership options coming soon, so stay tuned for that. If you have any requests or comments or thoughts, I love to hear from you. Please leave those down below. But have a great rest of your day or your night, and I will see you soon in another class. Bye.